Good evening, everyone. Another Sunday ruined. Welcome to the post-match review. Newcastle United 4, Manchester United 1, and I thought all the ice had melted in January, but apparently these players still fancied a slip and slide throughout the full game, causing mistakes left, right, and centre. And a game we expected, Sam, but not a game we enjoyed.
No, like I felt quite on the negative side when we did the preview. When I said 3-1, turns out it was a lot worse than I thought it would be. A lot of players look knackered, look tired. Other players who are on their way out in the summer, there's a reason why, and I can see why, because they were awful. And then a couple of other players, you're thinking, do we need to consider their futures as well? And then the goalkeeping situation went from bad to worse, didn't it? So yeah, all in all, a fucking awful game.
I mean, they scored in the first couple of minutes, didn't they? Which was an offside goal for Joe Linton. But that was kind of an early sign, I thought, of what was to come. Like the pressure they play with, the kind of athletes they have on the pitch, the strength, the physicality they have on the pitch. This was tailor-made for them. You know, a game against United in between a really tricky two-legged game against Lyon. It was perfect for a minute. I don't think anyone else expected, it to go any other way. But having said that, Sam, we got ourselves back in it in the first half, and then the second half, we just completely collapsed.
Yeah, first half, I was like, I don't like the way this is going. They were like all over us. There was some chances. Like I said, counter-attack, Garnacho, first time he scored in a long time. You're like, all right, maybe we could do a snatch and grab here or something. Maybe there's something in it. And then, the second half, everything that could go wrong went wrong. Mistakes all over the defensive backline. Zirkzee tears his hamstring. Bayinde decides he goes, Onana, hold my beer. I'm gonna do like one up you. Yeah, just everything was wrong. There was no physicality in that midfield. I saw Eriksen in that midfield and Ugarte, and I was just like, this is not gonna go well. This is really not gonna go well. Lindelof was just being bullied all game, just completely outclassed. Dalot had apart from the setup for the goal, had a terrible game. He just got passed by like he wasn't even there. Mazraoui was slipping like he was ice skating for some reason. I don't know what was going on there.
He weren't the only one either. There was a few of them.
No, so the whole second half, he was just like, "Oh, this can't get worse. Oh, this can't get worse. Oh, this," and it just kept getting worse. Like that, I've not seen that display from us in a few games. It's been a while since I've seen a half like that from us. Like that was really bad.
I mean, even Bruno Fernandes looked absolutely knackered. I mean, we'll go through individuals and stuff momentarily.
Did you hear that stat? I think the commentator said it. He got suspended, didn't he, for the last Newcastle game? Bruno.
Oh right, yeah.
He's not missed a minute of football since then.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't been taken off at any point. He's not missed a single minute. That's ridiculous.
I think that's mismanagement. I get he's a player who wants to play every minute of every game and wants to be on there and present because he's the captain, and you can appreciate those qualities. But it's also comes to a point where, like, just look at him. We said it in the chat before, like, whilst we were take him off the fuck. Yeah. Mazraoui's another one. The last time he didn't play was against Brentford. I put that in the chat in October. That was early October. They're fucked. They're absolutely fucked. And when we talk about legs, I thought a big difference today as well, was the midfield, Sam. I thought that Tonali, Guimaraes, Eriksen, Ugarte, or Bruno, whatever you want to call it, was night and day. Absolute night and day. Eriksen giving away possession all the time. Whenever we did receive it to feet, there was one time where Ugarte managed to get it away, and that's when we scored against Garnacho. But apart from that, there's just a difference in quality and balance in their midfield. Like Tonali as well, his goal was really good.
Great goal.
Just quality difference in it. Huge goal.
We said it in the preview, didn't we? We said the physicality is what's going to do us in here.
Yeah.
In that midfield, and that's what it was. Eriksen just not up to it. He's leaving in the summer, and there's people like, oh, maybe you should offer it. No. He needs to go. Like, he's just not up to it at all. Lindelof, not up to it at all. They just played through the middle like we weren't even there half the time. Like, down the middle of the park, it was just, like you said, night and day. They were just plowing through like we weren't even there. So, I when I saw the team, I was worried about Eriksen. I was worried about Lindelof. I did predict him to start because I thought he'd rotate, but I didn't expect that bad of a performance. That was really bad.
Just physicality. I think Amarin, this is the reason why he stresses it so much. in when he's doing press conferences and giving his feedback is that the athletic ability and the strength in games is so important. And you can see like having players like Lindelof and Eriksen and all these players, like it's very rare you get slight players who do really well. So Barcelona's team, for example, in 2009 when they had Xavi and Busquets is a big lad, by the way. They had the odd players who's quite slight, like Iniesta and Messi, but they still have the physical profile to blend with it as well. It feels like we have such a mixed pack of players where you don't really they're not really good at anything. Do you know what I mean? Like Eriksen's quite crafty and he's creative, but apart from that, what else does he give you?
He's got a decent technical ability. Like that's what you get from Eriksen. But when you surround him with, like you said, less physical players,
and the opposition is sharks, and as soon as you get it, that press from Newcastle. A lot of the time, you couldn't get out of your own fucking half. We were swallowed.
We were just horseshoeing it around our back line, weren't we? It was just going back and forth because there was no way through it. And you spoke on Barca there. They had it at the back as well. They had like Puyol, who's an absolute bruiser, like just gets involved in shit.
As well.
We've got Lindelof. Like it's not up to it. You got Harry Hamas, who, to be fair to the guy, I thought did well. I thought he had a decent game of all the people, but 18-year-old. In his Premier League debut against this Newcastle team. That's a lot to ask of somebody. He was getting bullied by Shah in the box, and then for some reason, Yoro tries to help him out and gets booked, but Shah doesn't. Don't understand what the fuck that was going on. So yeah, they were just like, that moment where Shah's just bullying Harry Hamas was just like the microcosm of that whole entire game, wasn't it? That is what's going on. They just bullied us to the point of just like destroyed us. So yeah, terrible.
Yeah. When we went into the first half, I was listening to Roy Keane's comments, and he was like, "Yeah, they've done well the first half, but let's see how they react in the second half." And it was that kind of set the tone straight away because I missed the Harvey Barnes goal, so you can tell me about that if you saw it. I didn't see what happened. Was it a cutback or something?
Yeah, the third one or the fourth one.
The second when we went into the second half, Harvey Barnes scored, didn't he?
Yeah, it was cut back across goal, and like Dalot should have had his man and missed it, and it gets cut back across, and then Lindelof's not quick enough to the player or to the ball, and he just has it 6 yards from goal and just back of the net.
So it was a cutback,
easy,
basically.
Yeah.
We've had more cutbacks than any other team on the planet. Something I wanted to bring up to your attention, Sam. Dougie Critchley just tweeted this on
friend of the channel.
Yeah, and he's just put, I thought this was so United's first 21 league games under Ruben Amorim, won 6, drew 5, lost 10, scored 25, conceded 33. Arteta's first 21 league games under Arteta, won 9, drew 7, lost 5, scored 32, conceded 21. Which kind of, not me, by the way, saying that Amorim's a shit manager or anything, but I just thought it's for perspective and context, it's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, this team, like we've said it so many times, it needs tearing apart and rebuilding. He's tried to start in January. Like Anthony's gone on loan. Sancho, Rashford, Malacia. He's trying to rebuild this team, and clearly there's a couple of players that need to go. We've now got a goalkeeping situation that we need to sort out as well in the summer, which is something we weren't expecting to do. But that's clearly a massive situation now. Who the fuck plays against Leon? Does Tom Heaton come in? Like, what happens there? Like, what do we do? Eli Harrison, yeah. So it's this summer is literally like the Arsenal documentary. It's all or nothing this summer. If we don't get our recruitment right this summer, you could see Amorim getting sacked halfway through next summer, next season.
It's a long way back. You mentioned the Bayern Day mistake. I'll get into that in a minute, but there was another mistake before that. And the Mazraoui slip for the third one was painful as fuck, wasn't it? Because he's been so good. But do you think that was kind of encapsulates what we was talking about before in terms of you're so tired, you actually, you just the mental fatigue and the physical fatigue, shown there, didn't it?
Yeah, like we spoke on young players playing too much minutes. Like Garnacho has started nearly every game. I think he played 38 games last year. Like every Premier League game, you shouldn't be having players playing that amount of games in that amount of minutes, just in out all the time. Like you shouldn't be doing that because that's where you risk injuries. And Mazraoui, who was labelled injury prone, but so far so good that United he hasn't been. like you can't run him into the ground like that because inevitably he's going to slip up. He's going to make a mistake. He's going to not quite have the energy to get there like he normally would. But he's not being rotated out. He's not being given a rest. Same with Bruno. Same with Garnacho. Like Garnacho, as a 19-year-old guy, should be coming off the bench, like 30 minutes to go and running ragged at defence and then get the occasional start in the cup competitions. That's what he should be doing. But we're playing him every game because we don't have anybody else because the recruitment has been piss poor. And we've got rid of all our other wingers because they went up to it either. Anthony, Rashford, Sancho. Got rid of them all because so we have nobody else. And that's the state of the squad at the minute. No squad depth. The players that are here aren't up to the job. And we're overplaying the players who are up to the job. So they're getting so tired that they're making mistakes. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing.
And we're running players into the ground, and players are running himself into the ground. When Zirkzee obviously pulled up after a really good solo run, but I think it looks like he's done his hamstring in, which is a massive blow for Thursday night. But in general, I thought, look, he's not a striker. He's not kind of that penalty box poacher who's going to, score like a Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's the complete opposite to that. But what he was doing in that game, what he is good at, I thought it was very strong. There was a lot of like the play between him and Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the box where it nearly went in. Like that was unbelievable. The times dropping in, it became a focal point for us in a difficult game like that where, Newcastle are all over us. You need players like him to step up and take the ball and take that bit of pressure off, which Rasmus Højlund can't do. But so going into that game on Thursday now, even considering he scored against Lyon on Thursday night, it's a big ask now, isn't it? Because you're starting Rasmus. I heard, again, I didn't watch the last 10 minutes because I was just fed up with the performance, so I kind of walked off. But I heard Rasmus had a chance from Luke Shaw or something. It just completely went wide.
Shaw, like, those balls that Shaw puts into the box when he's like out wide.
Like the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle when Casemiro
It was one of those that we've been missing for so long on that left-hand side. And he goes in, he gets the header and puts it wide. Yeah. And like, if that's a striker with confidence or if that's Zirkzee, that maybe ends up in the back of the net. I think it's still too late at that point anyway because it's like 90 plus minutes, but consolation goal.
Chances whenever you can, regardless of the scenario.
Yeah, I just think that's another thing that we have. Like the players that we have, I think, are low on confidence, and the one striker that we have now, because Zirkzee's gone out, like Zirkzee had a bit of confidence, he had a bit of swagger, and he was getting stuff going. But now he's out injured. The only person we have is Rasmus Højlund, and his confidence is probably the lowest it's ever been in his entire career. And we have to rely on him against Lyon because Cheeto's not registered. So even if we wanted to play him, we can't.
I forgot about that.
Our other guy who could play in the number 9 is at Aston Villa. So it's just like we're screwed. Like we're absolutely screwed.
Yeah, big priority positions going into the summer. I mean, God knows. I don't know how much money Amrin's got to spend, but he's going to need quite a chunk of change to get sorted the issues out in this team for sure. Right, let's get into the comments and see what you guys are saying. Please do. I know it's difficult because it was such a shit game, but please do leave a like on the video for us if you can. If you think Onana, Bayern had a stinker. Højlund didn't do his job when he came on, and the rest of the team, to be honest, I don't think anyone was in particularly great. Tim99, what a load of tripe we are. Reanate a spineless second half. Rather have Heaton play Thursday. Zirkzee injury, worst case possible. And Lindelof shouldn't play for the club again. Not a surprise this, but still sour to be humiliated. Andy Ford saying Newcastle could finish second. They are class all over the pitch. Yeah, me and Shreya said on the pre-match build-up, if they win both their games, they go above Nottingham Forest and just behind Arsenal. And that's shown today that they are a well-balanced team and a well-drilled team. And, credit to Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall. James McGrogan saying, can I just ask, are we genuinely that bothered about the remaining league games even before today? Sam, do you want to answer that? Because I know the answer to it.
No. Especially if we got in Europa League. Like, if we got in Europa on Thursday, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
See you later, lads. That's when I'd be like, okay, we can... just experiment with certain players. Goalkeeper has become an equal priority as a striker as well now. Still think Deary is better than Onana, but they're both 3 out of 10s. You couldn't name a keeper in the league worse than them. They are. It's like Deary saw Onana and was like, mate, watch this. You think you can make mistakes? It's like a competition for who can make the most fucking mistakes. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. James McGrogan, De Gea back. Love the Euros card. Go on, lad. Andy saying season is over. Ralph Ragnick said almost 3 years ago this team needs open heart surgery. Add brain surgery to the mix as well. And Zirkzee being injured, kill this season. Can't win fuck all with Højlund up top. plenty of optimism going into Thursday night. That's what you love to see. The Bruno versus Bruno battle, Sam. It seemed like Bruno Gomares today came out on top, didn't he?
Yeah, like we said, I think Bruno looked knackered, and you can see it when he came off the pitch. The guy's run himself into the ground for his team for the last however many years he's been here, and he's just got nothing else in him. I think he's at that point. He deserves so much better as well, man, because you look at the stats, you look at the goals and assists and stuff like that. He's the one that's creating everything. He's the one who's involved in everything. And without him, we probably would be in the relegation zone. We probably would be. So, yeah, I feel for him, man. I really do, because he deserves a lot better than the shit that he's getting at the minute.
Yeah, agreed. If we're being ruthless about this, look, you can analyse the game until the cows come home, but in reality, they was just far superior in the most parts of the pitch. I think that's probably fair to say. And the mental attitude seemed like it was swayed towards Thursday. It seemed second half, it was just kind of like, let's just get through this game. And then Thursday is the real kind of final, and people may call that unprofessional, whatever people are entitled to take, right? And I think they'll probably be right in that assessment. But heading into this summer, with the recruitment that's needed, based off, I mean, what we got, 7 games after the season, maybe 9 or 10 with the Europa League games included as well. Who's on the list for you, Sam, leaving the club?
Both goalies, but they probably need to go. Lindelof's leaving anyway because his contract's up, so he'll be gone. I would get rid of Luke Shaw personally, but who'd you sell him to with his injury record? Like, who the fuck's taking a punt on that? I don't know. I'd get rid of Dallo personally, but again, I don't know how realistic that is, because I think he probably ends up staying. Eriksen's out of contract, so he goes anyway. I know we're going to try and shift Casemiro, but the wages are going to be a big issue. Igati, the last couple of games, is worrying me. He's really worrying me. His ball progression is not up to it, man. It's just not up to it at all. So, yeah, he worries me, but I don't know if he'll go in the summer, but he worries me. Bruno obviously has to stay. Kobe Mainu, I hope, stays. Garnacho's probably going to go. I think we have to cash in. I think there's a player there. I think there's something we can work with. I think there is a player there. In his system, maybe. I think we've seen moments on the right and stuff like that. But if it means, I'd rather sell him than Kobe Mainu. If I was forced to choose like an academy thing, I'd rather sell him than Kobe Mainu. I think one of Højlund or Zirkzee goes. I don't see both of them staying. I think one of them goes.
Out of the two, who would you get rid of?
I'd get rid of Højlund, but it could be either one. I keep Ahmad, obviously. Mount, I don't know. I don't know with Mount. I don't know what to do. I really don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure on Mount. Keep Hamas. Keep Dorgu. Who am I missing?
Any centre backs? Maguire.
Yeah, Maguire's already signed an extension, so I think he's staying. Yodo obviously stays. Delict, keep him. I think he's been excellent. Heaven, we've just signed. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
It's a big question mark over Lissandro now, isn't there? With the injuries that he's had. He's had a lot of injuries and big injuries. So there's a big question mark there as well. There's a decision there to be made. Yeah, am I missing anybody else?
No, I think so. It's 2 goalkeepers. Lindelof, Shaw, Dallo, Eriksen, Casemiro, and Højlund. That's 8 players.
Yeah.
Get rid of in the summer.
And then there's question marks over Mount, Lissandro, and Ugarte. There's question marks there. Why
Ugarte specifically for you recently? Because obviously after the game at Anfield, for example.
We need somebody in that sort of thing who's got the physicality and who can break up the play, but also is capable of playing a progressive ball. And he doesn't seem capable of it. Like, he just 3-5 yards to the side and stuff like that. He's not capable of breaking the line and sort of making that pass. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to be prime Pirlo and those spraying passes about, but just have a capability of doing it, man.
But when you watch Tonali today and you see how he's playing, it's just like, you know, Guimaraes has everything Ugarte has off the ball, but then on the ball, he's like 2 times better.
Like, Ugarte is a more defensive midfielder, and his ability to go forward and score goals and be involved in that is 10 times better than most of our midfielders put together. It's just, it's frustrating, man.
Rainator is saying Amarin's got that Ange posture of his head down on his Sky interview. You could tell he's pissed. Answer to almost every question is just focused on Thursday. Lumen, did you talk about Amarin's poor line and in-game management today? Well, I touched on it in the group chat. A couple of the subs at the time I was asking for. I thought Bruno could have been withdrawn much earlier. But for a manager, what more can you do with the mistakes that Mazraoui slipped? Bayindir give them the ball for him to score.
Yeah.
You know, that's just individual mistakes. That's not like from a tactical perspective. How else are you going to go into that game sandwiched between Leon with trying to rotate the players that you've got on a thin squad and get a result? Like, it was never, ever going to happen. It was, you know, you're already fighting a fucking losing battle by the time the whistle blows, in my opinion. So,
like, Dallo had a poor game, but we don't have a right back.
Yeah.
Put on there.
You can't take him off.
There's nobody to replace him with. And Bayindir's having a shit game. So what are you supposed to do? Like, you've just started him and you're going to pull him off Tom Heaton? Like, and then Zirkzee was forced off. He was decent. He's forced off. The only option we have is Rasmus Højlund, and we know what he's about. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand what they want Amarin to do. Like, what do you want him to do?
I'd argue Eriksson, Bayindir, Lindelof, and Amas have probably played the total of about 15 games this season. And they've started in a game at St. James's Park against Newcastle, who are energetic monsters. So, and people say, oh, well, why did they start? And it's like, well, fucking hell. You've got players going back. Like, if you want to chuck them straight into the line, like, Mount's just come back. Think how injury prone he's been if he would have started.
Sure.
Mainu's just come back as well. You can't start him. Maguire's just come back from an injury. You're trying to manage him as well. Like, you've got a really, really important game on Thursday. So,
and, like, you said, like, you're trying to manage these players that are really important for this game on Thursday. So he's had to resort to playing Harry Amas in his Premier League debut at 18 years old at Newcastle at St. James's Park. Do you think he wanted to do that? I don't think he did. Like, I think if Shaw was 100% fit, he would have played him. And I think if he didn't have that game on Thursday, he would have put Dorgu in there. But he couldn't risk Dorgu because he knew he had to have him for the game on Thursday. So it's like, I don't understand what people want him to do. Like, I really don't.
It's going to be tough, you know, this summer because there is so many players that you need to move on, but it's just not realistic. United are not. I don't think so. Anyway, I don't think they're going to sell 8 to 10 players in the summer, and that's as many that need to. And it's weird because I remember Ralph Rangnick saying the same thing, like someone touched on before, in the summer when we had sold, you know, the Cavani's and Matic and Mata, and you know, we had that window where we cleared out a load of players, and then what we've done is we brought in Erik ten Hag, who's gone and bought a load more players, like another 10, 12 players, and all of them aren't good enough. The majority of the players you just mentioned there are Ten Hag signings. They're the players he brought in. Question marks over Mount. Onana, the majority of people want to go. Højlund, they want to go. Yep. These are all players. It costs that's like £200 million worth of players. Mount was 60, Onana was 45, and Højlund was 70 million quid. That's that's a window in itself. Shocking.
You also look as well. That was put on the club credit card, which put us into debt, which when Jim Radcliffe came in, he basically said we would have run out of money by Christmas time last year because of the spend that we had in that summer. So we spent that summer to try and improve the team and hopefully be better, and it didn't. It made the team worse, which then put us into further debt and absolutely ruined the club, and that's why we're not able to then go out and purchase players to fix this shit. So it's just a continuation of the same bullshit because of what the Glazers done to the club, and then mismanagement of recruitment for the past 15 years.
Yeah, let's get some of Ruben Amarin's quotes up. It's saying it's really hard to win against these top teams, and when we make mistakes which help the opponent score, it's harder for us. All the mistakes we did today, we cannot do on Thursday. People can say whatever they want to say. If you look at our position in the table, it says it all. Losing games is the hardest part in this job. Let's focus on Thursday. Roy Keane also just said as well, I think someone just put it in the chat on Amarin. He said, I think he's gone in and he's genuinely shocked on how bad these group of players are. And they are. And I honestly, I can sit here now and I can believe that by next season, I think it'll be so much better if he's allowed to do what he actually wants to do. Because I can already see certain patterns. I can see the structure off the ball is much better. I can see things. But like we say, when the players are that error prone and they're doing what they're doing, there is nothing you can do to.
He can't play the game. He can't play the game. Like, he can't be on the pitch and playing the game himself. No. Like, he can't.
So I don't get what you expect a manager to do in that situation. It's not to say that he's not accountable for anything, because there are certain things that I think he could have improved on. But you're working with this squad at the minute. I mean, it's just a proper D- kind of squad.
Also, as well, you spoke on the patterns of play and stuff like that improving. I think the small amount of glimpse of recruitment that he's gone through in Heaven and Dorgu, I think are decent players that he's recruited. So that's a small sample of sort of like the players he's identifying and wanting to bring in, or Jason Wilcox is identifying and bringing in. So hopefully that continues this summer, and we get those type of players who are willing to work, have got the physicality, are hungry to win, that kind of stuff, and we can, like you said, ship a lot of these players who are not up to it out the door. That's how you turn over a squad and get things going again.
Yeah. Sad times for Manchester United people. Look, Thursday is the season. It just is. It's as simple as that. If you go out on Thursday night, I mean, it's going to be so depressing. It really, really is. You keep it alive, first and foremost, by not performing like that. If you do what we did today on Thursday, you're going out. You are going out. So I'm really interested, Sam, to see who's going to start on Thursday. Who do you think should be in there? Who are the key players you think should be in there?
Bruno.
And the goalkeeper as well, sorry. Who do you even start in that?
I mean, this is what I was going to ask you. Do you put Tom Heaton in?
I wouldn't put Tom Heaton in personally.
Okay.
But I would pick between the two keepers, but I don't know who would pick. I actually don't know who would pick. I think maybe Onana, because I think it's difficult. I think Onana's got more of a chance of making a fantastic save than Deary has. I don't know if people would agree with that. It's just a shot stopping. But then is he more likely to make a mistake? I don't know. You look at Deary today, that's a simple pass out that he's given him and he scored.
Yep.
That's a headache for the manager. It really is. I don't have a fucking clue who would start in net. No idea.
I mean, you look at, I don't know if De Ligt is ready yet. Like, he went on the bench, so I doubt it. I'd love to see him, but it just looks like he's not going to be there. I don't
know what's up with him.
Did he say, is it calf or something? I'm sure it was
I've not seen anything.
I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Heaven was on the bench, so that's good. Hopefully he's somewhere, I think, so I'd like to see him involved. Maguire probably comes back in, doesn't he? He can't play Lindelof. Can't play Lindelof.
He's starting that game on Thursday. I'd be astonished.
Like, you have to play Mazraoui, but now I'm worried because he's had that game and he looks knackered. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I don't know what you do there.
Maybe move Yoro over to the right side of centre half.
Maybe.
At left centre half. If he's right.
Maybe you do that. Dallo, you're gonna have to play him because we got nobody else. Yeah. Like, just the way it is. I don't want him
as well, won't he?
Yeah, Dorgu will come in. It'll probably be Ugarte and Cass, I imagine.
Zero starting that game, 100%.
Obviously, Bruno will be there. Garnacho's gonna have to start now because Zirkzee's fucked.
Yep.
And it'll be Hoyland. That'll be the team probably.
Oh God. Right, we'll have the full preview for the game on Tuesday for obviously the game against Lyon in the second leg of the quarterfinal at Old Trafford. I don't know what else to say. The league is pretty much finished, isn't it, lads? Let's be transparent about that. It is done and dusted. A lot of people expected this kind of result. Maybe not as bad, maybe not the mistakes, but I just have to say with the Deary thing, you get moments like this in football that you wait years for. He got his moment. You have to take your opportunity, and he's made a mistake like that. And it's like, that's fine margins in football. When you do stuff like that, you get punished, and that was across the board today. So, yeah, appreciate you all tuning in and dropping your opinions, as always. Please do, if you can, before you head off, leave a like on the video for us and subscribe to the channel, and follow us on socials for all the post-match reaction from the game on Instagram, X, and TikTok. We'll see you guys in the next one, yeah?